Hello, Scorpio. For this segment, I'm going to use the Morgan Greer Tarot for the main read by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. And for the supportive cards, the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay. I think we might be done with those. We'll find out. Okay. So, what is going on here? I feel like you're going into this situation trying to put your best foot forward, but I think you're doing it to your detriment. I think you're just trying to get along. No, that's not right. What are we talking about here? Because you're trying to get to know someone. You got the 3 cards here at the top. You're getting to know each other, deception, and what's this last one? Free yourself. But I feel like the reason you're being maybe a little deceptive, if we're going to use that word, is you're trying to be kind. You're trying to be... I feel like you're trying to be nicer than maybe you want to be. And the other person... Like, I don't know, the other person isn't really realizing... I don't know, the other person isn't receiving it well, I don't think at all. I think you're trying to be nice. You're just trying to give things a chance. You're trying to understand. I feel like there's someone around you that means something to somebody else, if that makes sense. This is like a third-party situation, but you're trying to get along with this person because it's affecting other relationships in your life. So you're like, all right, I'll play nice. But I don't feel like this is working out for you because I feel like you're a little too honest anyway, and it's like, even though you're trying to be nice and play nice, it still comes through. Like, you're like, I'm just getting along with you because you're affecting these other relationships, and I don't like that. So because I want this to work out okay, I'm going to be nice to you. I don't really want to. That's kind of how I feel like it's coming across. I also feel like, even though you may not really want to, you prefer this to be more of a conducive situation. You prefer to get along. You do, but there's just pieces of it. You're just like, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna try. And I feel like you're pushing yourself. You're trying to force yourself to see it in a different way. You're trying to force yourself to just give it a chance, especially for because I feel like the way it's affecting people around you. Either they don't see it the same way, or they don't think it's as bad as you might think it is, or as unacceptable as you think it is. What am I feeling here? I feel like you're trying to go about it in kind of a casual way. I don't feel like you want to be over involved with this person, but you're trying to like show that you have that you're interested. You're trying to get along. You're trying. But I feel like other people are trying to also go along with it as if this can work out. Other people are trying to follow suit with it. I'm not sure if this has any longevity because I feel like your emotions, unless you find proof to the contrary of the way you feel, it's kind of a temporary situation anyway. You're not going to be able to hold this up for too long. You'll try. The reason you're trying is for the other people around you, though, not for this person, because it's affecting these relationships. All right, so that being said, even when you come into the situation, you're just kind of seeing this as kind of like, it's the hanged man, that you're kind of like caught in the trap. You're just like, I gotta kind of try to get along. And I feel like you want to, but you're just kind of like, I don't know if this is right, but I want this to work out with other people. I don't want this to become an issue. And you're almost feeling kind of like, I almost feel like there's like a you're looking at this person as if they're a lech or something. Like you don't really like them. I feel like it keeps coming through that you really don't like this person you're trying to get along with, but you're just trying to give it a benefit of the doubt. You're trying really hard, but like the inner voice, the inner feeling is kind of like. So you do give it a shot, and you're hopeful that the situation like it's going to be conducive for everybody. Everybody's going to get along better. It's going to be better for everybody. And I almost feel like they're meeting you halfway on this. They're also trying to do the same, at least in the beginning part of this section. I feel like they're trying to like be all right, let's do what we need to do. Let's give it a shot. They're giving it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot. Like I feel like in the beginning, at least, they're meeting you halfway. Okay, I almost feel like you're thinking, well, that's all I need. I can make it work out from there as long as I get halfway. Whatever, I can make this work out. I feel like this halfway goes a little too far though, because I feel like you really honestly you're trying to like include them or something. You're trying to be nice. You're trying to include them. You're trying to show that you care, but I just feel like it just doesn't land right. And you're being. I feel like you're honestly trying to include them. I'm not saying your feelings like I'm not saying you feel like you really want to, but you're honestly trying to include them, like to include them in it, to like give it a shot. Like you're trying to do the right thing. I just don't feel like it lands right. Something goes a little wonky here. I don't know if it's the way it's said, what it is, or just how they feel in this situation. They're not buying that you really want them there, which I'm feeling might be quite true, but it is an honest invitation. Like you do want them there, you're just not really overjoyed about hanging out with them, but you want the situation to move forward. You want things to work out. So you're giving an honest invitation, as in you're honestly, yes, please come. Like you're honest about that. Deep down, do you really want them there? Not really. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it. But the way it's going to affect everybody else, to give this an honest chance, you do want them to show up for that reason. Like, would you just want to hang out with them one-on-one? Probably not. But for the situation as a whole, yes. You honestly do want them to show up, but it's just not hitting right. It's not sitting right with them. Now, this is where it gets a little crazy. Because I feel like after you do that, it doesn't land right. And the Devil card and the Seven of Cups. I'm thinking these are memories more than anything else. And they're just thinking about all the times it went wrong before, everything. They're just seeing the situation in a negative light. They're just thinking you're setting them up or something like that. They're not into it. And they're like, I feel like they're going off the deep end about it. They're just getting really like, I'm feeling like this is really going, I feel like you gave an invitation trying to do your best, and this person is just twisting it around. Like I don't know, they're just twisting it around like, yeah, well, I was invited, but not really invited. Like, I was invited hoping that I would decline or something. I feel like there's some type of sassy, like snotty response to it like that. I feel like I don't think it's directly with you this confrontation happens, but around, like, I feel like this person's complaining to other people in the situation that you care about, that you have in common. And they're just kind of like, I was invited, but barely, or begrudgingly, or bleh. Like, I feel like it just hit wrong. Which, again, it comes back, like, I do feel like you do want them to show up. I'm really not convinced you would like to actually hang out with them, but due to the situation, it's an honest invite. Like, yes, no, I invited you because I do want you to come. I didn't invite you because I felt like I had to invite you. Then you're kind of like, well, all right, well, I had to invite you, but I do want things to get better between us, and I do want you to show up so we can get to know each other better and maybe work things out. So I do want you to show up. I don't want you to decline. I do want you to show up. But again, it comes through this feeling like, I don't know. It comes through over and over again. Like, you want to like their company, you don't like I feel like you really don't like their company. But due to the situation, you're constantly trying to get them involved. I feel like I'm going over this like 50 times. I don't know why. You hold strong to that, though. You hold strong to the invite. You hold strong to your. I don't feel like you're pushing. You're not. You're not going to be like, well, I just want to get along with you because of the connections. I don't feel like you're like being like that, but I'm also feeling like you're kind of also still feeling like you're stuck in this trap. You're just like, I'm making an effort here. What's the problem? Like, why do we have to be such pains in the ass? Like, just show up and let's see how it works out. Stop being a pain in my ass. I feel like that's kind of, then also, I feel like in the same token, you're just like, this is why I don't like you. I don't know if that's how it comes for you, but that's how it comes across for me in this situation. Like, yeah, this is exactly why I think you're a jerk, because you do this stuff. And you don't like this person because of things like this. That's kind of what's coming through too. You're like, I'm still stuck in the same mess. Like, I can't appease anybody here because I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to give an invite. I'm doing my best here, but it still gets thrown right in my face. Okay. I do still feel like I don't feel like you're backing off in the sense of like you're not taking back the invitation. I feel like you're trying to hold strong and you're just like, I said I would do it and I'm going to do it. And you're trying to keep, I feel like you're trying to keep how you feel a little more low key. You're very careful about talking about the situation with other people, like who you're talking to. And even then, you might be a little more reserved. And I feel like you might even be deceiving people like that in the sense of like, you don't want it to seem like it's more than it is. You don't want to fuel the fire, so you're kind of making it out like, oh no, I want him to show up. I really do. I mean, again, though, it comes back like you don't really want to hang out with. Like one-on-one, you wouldn't want to hang out with this person. The only reason you want to is for the whole situation to improve, which is a good reason to try. So you're careful about who you tell this to because you don't want it to get back to the wrong person or anything like that. And I feel like you're very dedicated to this because you're feeling like, you know what, if I can just make this situation work out, it'll be a lot calmer and won't be such an issue. Okay. I feel like that came through like pretty quick. All right, so I think we're good here. So this is how we're going to leave. When you leave this time frame, you're just trying to hold strong, and I feel like you are. You've kind of like, I feel like you kind of dug in your heels, like, no, I sent that invitation, I meant it, you know what? I'm not surprised about this reaction, this is why we don't get along, but I'm not backing off, I'm not going to be looking the fool because you want to be a jerk. I'm going to keep it out there, I'm just going to hold the line here, and like, I don't want this coming back against me, like I'm causing more problems, which I'm not, so I'm just going to hold steady, and you know what? Come, don't. I am not pulling back the offer. I'm going to leave it out there that I want you to show up. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure. Thank you very much to everybody who leaves comments. I love reading them. If you want to purchase a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you for watching.